too long ago, I made a video using these thin foam plates for printing, right? But then I thought, what if you didn't have access to these plates, or you didn't want to go out and buy 100? Because I think the one I have came in a pack of 100. And I wanted to know if the regular old styrofoam plates from the grocery store would work, right? So what I did was I popped on into the Dollar Tree and I got these everyday foam plates, which are 10 1/4 inches in diameter. And I also saw these everyday foam trays, which are 6 and some change inches by 8.5 inches. So I'm going to try both of these and see if they will work just as well, maybe even better, as the foam plates that we used in our last video. So I'm going to start with this dinner plate that I said was 10 1/4 inches in diameter. This little template paper is 4.5 by 6.5. And to cut this out to make a printing plate, I'm just going to trace along this template. And then use my scissors to cut it out. So now let's give it a test. So to test out this dinner plate, I'm just going in with some regular old aluminum foil. Now this was foil I had covering some cupcakes from my little boy's birthday party, and I just couldn't bring myself to throw it away for some reason. So I'm going to use it in this print. So I just balled it all up and then I'm unballing it, but you want to leave a lot of that texture in there. You don't want to flatten it all the way out, right? I brought out my Sizzix and I'm going to emboss the texture of that aluminum foil onto my dinner plate foam. So this is my sandwich that I'm making. I believe that is the A panel that I'm using there, and I'm just gonna roll it through, pressing that texture into the foam. Now this is going to create some interesting looks. This aluminum foil is really smooth, and I'm actually going to do something with it in a later video. But when you pull the foam off, it doesn't look like much, right? It doesn't look like it's going to amount to anything. But what I'm doing is I'm getting my Speedball printing ink, I'm spreading it on my acrylic panel, and I'm going to ink up this plate. And that's when you really start to see the texture that is there. You see that? Now, even then, it doesn't really look like much, but when you print it onto a good background, you can see how this texture really looks. And I think it looks pretty cool. Now, I'm going to give this a good burnish with my Baren, make sure that my paper is in good contact with the foam, and then I'm going to pull it up and check it out. And look at that. Like, it is, I love it, right? It looks like, I don't know what it looks like. It looks lightning, or it looks like static. I don't know. This was a plate that I'd done earlier, actually, in the same way, but I wanted to show you guys different impressions that you can get. Now, I did the same technique to make this plate. I used the aluminum foil. But, each iteration of it is going to look different. It's going to look like its own piece of art. So I just wanted to show you guys that second plate that I created off camera. And these prints, they're so amazing. They look like shattered glass, or I don't know. I can't really describe it, but I think it looks cool. Now this one is a version that I did using a crumpled piece of cardstock instead of aluminum foil, and just to see the variation if you were to use something different. And I think this was really interesting in its own right. And I think using the rainbow prints on for the backdrop really highlights a lot of the texture and the crumbling. So what I'm doing here is I'm pulling out this foam serving tray, or whatever this is called. I'd never seen these at the Dollar Tree before, and they come in a pack of 30, which is more than twice the number of the plates that you get. So I wanted to try it out. But because I was planning to do some etching, I wanted to show you guys that this dinner tray foam is softer than the printing plate foam that we used in our previous video. It's softer, and so these tools that have sort of a pointed tip get caught in the foam. I don't know if you could see that in the video, but it was making holes in the foam, and so I just decided to do some abstract etching marks with this weird tool that I have. This is a, what is this called? I don't know what this is, but I just wanted to go in and do some etching, do some mark making, just to show you what etching in the foam looks like. I showed you some embossing. Now I want to show you an etched version. Now this is strange and weird and lovely and it's just some quick mark making, but you can see how effective these Dollar Tree dinner plates can be in allowing you to make this sort of really quick yet really impactful textured artwork. Now look at that. I think that's pretty cool for something that I just scratched into the foam in 10 seconds, right? So I'm just going to take a second print here really quickly to show you how it looks on a different background. It kind of looks like a rug looking at it again. I mean, it's a funny looking rug, but it kind of has a rug texture. Okay, for the final set of prints to test out our dinner plates, I caught this sequin stuff caught my eye at the Dollar Tree when I was getting the plates, and it is just a piece of sequined fabric. Now I was trying this out. I had no idea what this was gonna end up looking like, but I decided to emboss a piece of this foam with this sequin pattern. Now I flipped up, you saw me flip up a few of the sequins to give it a kind of like a variation in the texture. It looks cool on the foam, but I wasn't sure how it was going to come out in the actual print. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up, and once I inked it up, I was a little like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what that looks like. It looks like something, but it doesn't look like sequins to me. But as this mixed media art thing often goes, it can turn into something really, really cool. And that's what this looked like to me. I really liked how that looked, and I think I wanted to see whether it was that tie-dye paper I was using in the background that made it such a special print, and that is a big part of it. But when I took this on a piece of blank white paper, I liked the texture that it made on there too. So it wasn't just the tie-dye that made it a good looking textured print. It was good looking all on its own. So that was the sequins, and now it's time for the recap. These are all of the prints that we made together on this video, and some of these you did not see me make. I made them off camera, but you get the idea, right? I just wanted to test out whether this Dollar Tree dinner foam would work, and it absolutely does. It is an excellent choice for someone who just wants to try some block printing and doesn't want to necessarily jump out there and get the specialty foam or what have you. Now, can you use the acrylic paint to make these prints? You can, but the acrylic paint dries a lot faster, so you just want to keep that in mind when taking your prints. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please go ahead and leave a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope to see you guys next time, and in the meantime, keep creating and making. Bye bye.